Good evening and welcome into the Manchester Basketball Centre here in Whalley Range, as we've got some Division 1 action for you today as the Manchester Mystics host Anglia Ruskin University. Kaz Bullock here with you on the Manchester Magic and Mystics YouTube channel. So this is Manchester Mystics' first home game since the National Cup final win against the London Cavaliers in January earlier this year. The first National Cup win for the team in their history, and in National Cup history, 61 years. And the Manchester Mystics coming away with their very first National Cup title. But since then, Manchester on a 3-game losing streak since that cup win. They'll want to get themselves back on track with only 4 games left in the season. They've had a tough run of road games since that cup game against the London Cavaliers, Loughborough Riders and Ipswich last weekend. And it was a 76-41 loss to Ipswich last weekend. Chloe Andrew dropping in 14 points and Ravimbo Chinamasa 7 points and 7 rebounds. And for Anglia Ruskin, their last game was against the London Cavaliers, a 70-54 loss. Tia Freeman dropping 14 points and 8 rebounds, and Vicky Gray adding in 13 points and 3 rebounds. And until last weekend's loss to London, Anglia Ruskin were on a 7-game winning streak. Their last loss before that was to Manchester in November. So it's going to be a really exciting matchup today. Manchester in 3rd place with 11 wins and 5 losses, and Anglia Ruskin in 4th place, just behind 11 wins and 6 losses. So teams getting ready to come out onto the floor. Anglia Ruskin playing in white today and the Mystics in red. Starting for Manchester, it will be Ravimbo Chinamasa, Chloe Andrew, Success Odemwingie, Georgia Perdomo and Letitia Willis. And for Anglia Ruskin, Ilaria Zaffaroni, Tia Freeman, Katie York, Vicky Gray and Elizabeth Neri. So for the tip, it will be Neri and Willis, and ball's up, and it's first possession to ARU. Neri. Hands off to Freeman. Zaffaroni spinning, fading away. That's a tough shot. Doesn't get it to fall. As Manchester back down the floor. Odemwingie goes to the basket, and good defense there from Zaffaroni. Just standing her ground, knocking the ball away. It will be last touch ARU, so Mystics possession. So Odemwingie will inbound. And ball's in, and will go again from the end line. "15 seconds on the clock. Ball's into Chinamasa. Perdomo. Willis looking to go inside. That's a tough move. Doesn't get the roll. Zaffaroni will set things up for ARU. Freeman. Out to Zaffaroni. Three's up. Not that time. That's a great box out there from Willis for the Mystics. Gets Manchester the ball. Odemwingie round to Chinamasa. Both teams looking to get on the scoreboard here in the first quarter as the ball will go out of bounds, and it will go the way of ARU. Zaffaroni hands off to Gray. Round to Freeman. Oh, pass is read by Odemwingie, and Success Odemwingie will take it all the way and lay it in for 2. Gets Manchester onto the scoreboard, and Success, as Chinamasa takes the ball. Odemwingie with a massive rebound for Manchester as Perdomo drives baseline and floats it in for 2 more. Chinamasa starting things off, stealing the ball on the inbound. And Manchester really putting the pressure on here early on that inbound pass from ARU. As foul goes against Andrew, and that'll be the first team foul for Manchester. So ARU ball from the sideline. Zaffaroni. And it'll be a second foul against Manchester, so 2 quick team fouls there in the first quarter. Gray into Zaffaroni. Going baseline, and Perdomo intercepts the pass. Chinamasa. Sorry, that was Odemwingie, as Andrew's shot doesn't fall. A 4-0 Mystics lead here. Just under 2 minutes gone. Zaffaroni. Pass into Freeman. Freeman powers away inside, gets her own rebound and finishes with the putback. Gets ARU onto the scoreboard. Mystics lead by 2. Odemwingie to Chinamasa. Chinamasa. Pass is knocked away. ARU have it. Oh, Neri with a tough catch underneath the basket. Doesn't get it to fall. There's Odemwingie at the other end for Manchester. Chinamasa. Andrew. Andrew finds some space and lays it in for 2. 4-point Mystics lead. Zaffaroni pulls up from deep and nails it. A big bucket there from Zaffaroni. Cuts it to a 1-point game. Andrew. Hands off to Odemwingie. Odemwingie looking for some help. Andrew's there. 6 seconds on the clock. And a whistle against ARU. That's their first team foul. It'll be Mystics ball from the end line. Good deflection there for ARU as they come up with the ball. Manchester called for their 3rd team foul. As Zaffaroni gets it over the halfway line. Freeman. Freeman goes inside, can't get it to drop. As Andrew down the court for Manchester. Andrew spins, runs into traffic, kicks it out. Perdomo's there. Perdomo lines up a 3. That's a good look for Georgia Perdomo. She's been a really sharp shooter from the outside this season for Manchester. Doesn't fall that time, but that's the kind of look that she's going to want to see. As Odemwingie will be called for the foul on the floor. So that's the 4th on Manchester. As we have a substitution for Anglia Ruskin. Amelia Hassoun checks into the game, and Alex Hernandez in for Manchester. And balls into Gray. Gray pulls up. Doesn't get the bounce. Rebound is chased down, but it will be Manchester possession. Manchester sitting in 3rd place in the standings this season. Anglia Ruskin in 4th. As Odemwingie drives to the basket, gets the finish. That's a tough move from Odemwingie. Zaffaroni. Freeman. Over to Gray, and Gray sinks a deep 3 for ARU and ties the game at 8-all. Odemwingie to Andrew. Andrew doesn't drop, gets her own rebound, and another chance for the Mystics. Out to Hernandez. Willis inside, blocked by Gray from behind. It will stay Manchester ball. So Andrew will inbound, 7 seconds on the clock. Willis, 5 seconds. Odemwingie's there. Odemwingie with a long shot, not that time. And we're tied at 8-all here in the first quarter. Zaffaroni against Andrew. Out to Freeman, three's up and banks it in. A huge shot there for Freeman and Anglia Ruskin. And ARU certainly a team that like to shoot that three-point shot. Something Manchester are going to have to try and close down as Perdomo finds Odemwingie. Hernandez. Willis driving baseline, runs into traffic, and Hernandez with the time running down, doesn't get it to drop. And good defense here from Manchester, trying to stop ARU getting it over the halfway line as Gray keeps the ball under control, but it bounces off the back iron. Three-point ARU lead. Odemwingie to Willis. Perdomo thought about it, goes to the basket, scoops it up and in. And foul will be called against Manchester, so that's their 5th. So that will put ARU at the free throw line. So 2 shots to come. And a substitution for ARU. Not quite yet, we won't have the substitution yet, but Vicky Gray at the foul line, averaging 11.4 points a game for Anglia Ruskin, along with 6.3 rebounds this season. Playing in her 2nd season for ARU. Averaged just over 11 points a game last year. So we will have a substitution now. So Mariana Madaloni checks in for Anglia Ruskin, and we'll see Anya Williams onto the court for Manchester. As Odemwingie saves the ball, and Manchester will get it over the halfway line. Odemwingie floats it up, it's short as Neri has it over to Zaffaroni. Freeman. And Andrew picks up the ball. Manchester coming up with the steal. Andrew over to Hernandez. And ball will go out of bounds. And a timeout call, so teams want to talk it over. So 13-10, ARU leading over Manchester, just over 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. So 13-10 ARU lead over the Manchester Mystics. And it's been success. Odemwingie with 4 points and 2 rebounds for Manchester so far, leading the way. And for Anglia Ruskin, 5 points from Tia Freeman, along with a rebound and an assist. So teams coming back out onto the court. So it will be Anglia Ruskin possession. Soon to inbound. Zaffaroni against Hernandez. Zaffaroni finds Neri. Freeman, oh, nice move to the basket, gets the whistle. And Tia Freeman will head to the free throw line. So Tia Freeman playing in her second season for ARU. Last year averaged 19.4 points per game. She was 4th in Division 1 in points per game last season. She's followed that up with a 17.9 average this year. That's 6th in Division 1. She's also 10th in rebounds with 3.5, as she doesn't get the first free throw. Rahana Khalil coming into the game for the first time for the Mystics. And Freeman gets the second. It's a 4-point ARU lead. Khalil to Andrew. Hernandez hands off to Khalil. Khalil keeps the ball alive. Hernandez is there. 7 seconds on the clock. Khalil, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Manchester will have to put something up, and a big block by Neri as ARU racing down the floor, and Freeman will get herself back to the foul line, and that's something that she's done really well all season long, able to take the contact. She's either going to finish at the rim or she's going to get herself the free throws. As Freeman gets the first. Puts the ARU lead up to 5 points here in the first quarter. And second's good as well. 2 of 2 from the line for Freeman, and she's up to 8 points. Khalil. Williams. Out to Andrew. Andrew can't get the 3 to fall, as Hernandez takes away the rebound and kicks it out. Williams hits the 3, and that's a great possession there for Manchester. Really calm, composed from Williams at the 3-point line. Cuts the lead down to a single possession. Madaloni working against Hernandez. Maxi's shot in the corner is good. There's a long 2 for ARU. Back to a 5-point game. Williams has the ball picked off. Zaffaroni. Back to Zaffaroni. And 3 doesn't fall. Lord can't save the ball inside, so it stays with ARU. And Manchester will, ARU will have a substitution, as we'll see Vicky Gray back in. And Ravimbo Chinamasa will come into the game as Chloe Andrew heads to the bench. Looks like Andrew just took a bit of a fall there. So she'll get checked out on the bench. So ball's in. Madaloni. Gray. Gray against Hernandez. Shot clock's off. Hernandez comes up with the steal. 10 seconds to go. Hernandez races all the way to the basket. Leaves it short though, as Khalil picks up the rebound. And Chinamasa with 2 seconds can't get it to go, but Lord is there. And it won't fall at the buzzer. So at the end of the first quarter, it's an 18-13 lead for the Mystics. For Anglia Ruskin over the Mystics. And leading the way for ARU, it's Tia Freeman with 8 points, a rebound and an assist. And leading the way for Manchester, Success Onumwingi and Georgia Perdomo on 4 points each. So I am very excited to be joined by Isha Nair, who has raced back to join us for the second quarter. And Isha, the last time we saw Manchester playing, it was in the National Cup when they won the National Cup back in January. And since then, they've had a bit of a losing streak. They've had a 3-game losing streak, and they're looking to get back on track today against this really tough ARU team.
Yeah, I mean, that National Cup victory, it was really good. It was a great final. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It was just a great game all around. I mean, Mystics being able to take it in the dying few seconds of the game, really good final. I mean, if you haven't watched that, go and watch it. But yeah, I mean, this just sometimes happens to teams. They came off a really great achievement, just trying to kind of rebuild, keep that momentum. It's not always easier, so hopefully they can do that today, just kind of swing that momentum back towards them. And yeah, we'll see what happens here today.
Yeah, definitely. So, and we said earlier, Manchester in 3rd place in the standings, Anglia Ruskin in 4th place. There's just very little between them when you look at it. And this team back out on the floor as Khalil can't get the shot to go. But Lord with a big rebound, and Chinamasa can't get it to fall. Another rebound for Lord as Khalil. 3 doesn't fall, but Faith Lord crashing the boards for Manchester, getting those second chance points. And get another Faith. Why not?
First of all, apologies to the viewers at home because I actually forgot to turn the camera on to Faith for that one, but because you had that great commentary by Kaz, you just knew what was happening. Yeah, Faith Lord absolutely dominating the boards in the paint at the moment. How many rebounds? That like 3 or 4?
That was like 4 in a row, 4 straight. But yeah, the Manchester not able to capitalise there.
Yeah, and that's what's really going to matter. Who can capitalise off those offensive rebounds? That's really what's going to make the difference here.
Gray out to Madaloni. Hands off back to Gray. 6 seconds on the clock. Freeman, 2 seconds. Freeman going to the basket, runs into the wall of Rahana Khalil. And Manchester get the ball back. And that's great defense from Manchester.
Yeah, it really is. Just sometimes we say all the time, just being in the way. I mean, Rahana Khalil there came across, timed it really well, literally just stood her ground. And then we saw, forced miss. So.
As we see Willis back into the game, and Manchester can't get the shots to fall. They're getting some looks as Andrew calling for it, puts it up and puts it in. And good to see Chloe Andrew there after she took that bit of a fall just earlier on, but a few minutes later she's back in the game.
Yeah, great to see her back out there. Good to see them the Mystics finally capitalising off those offensive rebounds as well. And what a better way to do it than with Chloe Andrew 3-pointer. All right, sorry viewers at home, I keep forgetting to turn the camera. I'm going to remember to do it now. My hand is on the camera, I'm not going to forget.
As Willis banks in 2 more. Isha, literally, you've raced down the, I don't know what motorway you've raced down. But
I didn't drive,
you got here in time with that, with the team. We are here, yeah. It's 18 all, and just over 8 minutes to play in the second quarter. So a good run there for Manchester just to start things off, just coming out of that second quarter, able to tie the game at 18 all.
Yeah, really good start coming out. I mean, obviously, ARU, they came out strong. We've seen some really good things from them. At some points, not that I saw the whole quarter, but from what I did see the quarter, they had some really good ball movement. Sometimes they were just zipping the ball around, getting some nice, strong drives. And the Mystics sometimes looked a bit lost, but this quarter now, obviously, I mean, it's only been 2 minutes, but seeing some much more positive things. We've seen them get loads of offensive rebounds. They're starting to capitalise on them now. And yeah, that's just what you want to see, isn't it?
It certainly is as well. And it must, for the Mystics as well, they've had that run of road games, the National Cup as well, in Worcester. So it's been quite a long time since they've played here.
Yeah.
And once you kind of get used to playing on the road, can it sometimes even be a bit strange to come and play a home game?
Yeah, probably. Because, I mean, as I said, there's been a lot of away games. Sometimes that can be a factor in why they're kind of in this kind of losing streak at the moment as well. Because it's not always the easiest, especially from Manchester, and you look at where the rest of the league is, everywhere's like such a long distance away. So hopefully they can kind of get back into that rhythm on the home court and come up with a win.
Madaloni, ball will go out of bounds. You can see the pressure there Manchester are putting on defensively. And I think maybe just before you arrived, Isha, but Alex Hernandez has just been a pest on defense, as she always tends to be.
Yeah, love a good pesky defender.
Gray. Three's up and down. And Vicky Gray, such a strong shooter from outside. In fact, Anglia Ruskin have a host of three-point shooters out there on the floor.
Yeah,
Lord.
The Mystics are definitely going to have to be putting a hand up on defense.
Chinamasa's shot doesn't go, but Lord tips the ball. Will be Manchester possession.
Yeah, Faith Lord really getting it done inside so far today.
6 rebounds in 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy start.
That's great work, Faith. So a 3-point AIU lead. Manchester ball from the end line. Ball's into Andrew. Andrew, catch and shoot. That's short. As AIU look to make it a 2-possession game. Madaloni. Mary to Gray. And Gray knocks it down. That looked like Willis almost got a hand on it.
Yeah, but I mean, that was a great shot, isn't it? It literally didn't even hit the net, just perfect. Probably, if we didn't have our headphones on, we would have heard that swish sound.
Vicky Gray, 3rd in D1 this season in 3-point percentage with just over 34%.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen why so far, haven't we?
As Chinamasa with a high arcing shot, banks in 2 for Manchester. It's a 4-point game. Madaloni. And Lord takes the ball away. Faith Lord is putting in an absolute shift so far today.
Yeah, she's really been putting in that work. ARU definitely going to have to clamp down on her.
Freeman. Madaloni. Back to Freeman. Freeman looking for a screen, finds it, and an offensive foul is called, so Manchester will get the ball back.
Yeah, just look at there. Neri just moving instead of having her feet planted. The Mystics now hopefully can capitalise off this and try and get a score at the other end and cut it down to a 1-possession game.
So we'll have a substitution for AIU and Zaffaroni back in. So Hernandez with the ball. Out to Andrew. 8 seconds on the clock. Andrew looking to create some space. Takes it and doesn't get it to go. Zaffaroni around to Freeman. Freeman pulls up from deep and sinks it. And AIU hit another 3.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more you could have done to stop that one. Just nice through the legs, step back. I mean, you kind of knew it was going in as soon as it left her hands, didn't you?
You did. They're 6 of 8 from 3 as Willis under the basket doesn't get it to drop. It's a 7-point game. Ball's knocked away. It will stay AIU possession, as we'll see Cleo Lewis-Gale into the game for the first time as Vicky Gray heads to the bench. Gray with 11 points for AIU today.
Yeah, great work from her so far.
And Rahana Khalil back out on the floor for Manchester. Zaffaroni from the foul line. Shot spins out. And Lord's there for another rebound. And Andrew can't keep it inside the lines. That we're back with AIU. Madaloni, and that'll be a backcourt violation. So Manchester possession from the sideline. Biggest lead of the game so far for Anglia Ruskin at 7 here, 27-20. They lead in the second quarter. Chinamasa, a high arcing three.
Yeah.
She's got an answer.
Yeah, she definitely does. Hopefully that can swing the momentum back into Manchester's way now. It seems like they are struggling to score, but when the scores are coming, they're coming in short bursts.
And that'll be another backcourt violation there for ARU. Ball was touched by them last before going back over the halfway line. So Manchester from the sideline and a chance to cut this to a single possession. Chinamasa takes it all the way. Floater doesn't drop, but Willis takes the rebound and Andrew's shot spins out, but Faith Lord is there for another big board. And Andrew drives to the basket, count it, and the foul. And Chloe Andrew will go to the foul line for a chance at a three-point play.
Yeah, great take from Chloe Andrew there, just able to finish through that contact. But we have to talk about this inside presence of Letitia Willis and Faith Lord at the moment. It feels like every single time the ball's coming off the rim on offense, they're the first ones out, their hands are, or the ball is always going to their hands. But it's not just like because it's going that way.
They're fighting for it.
They're fighting for it. They're just getting into that space and just reaching for it. Great work from them too. Really
great work as Andrew doesn't get the free throw to go. Just over 4 minutes to play. Freeman. Zaffaroni. Kicks it down. And Lewis Gale's shot is short. It will be Manchester ball. Manchester with a chance to tie or take the lead on this possession as Chinamasa will set things up. Khalil. Back to Chinamasa. Chinamasa to Khalil. 4 seconds on the clock. Khalil spinning, driving, scoops it up. Gets the whistle, so Rahana Khalil will go to the foul line. Do you know who that is, Isha? Who's going to the foul line?
Who?
That is two-time National Cup winning Rahana Khalil. That is going to go to the foul line. Two-time Cup winning, as she won with the Mystics, obviously, a few weeks ago in January, but also won with the Stockport Lapwings, the D2 Stockport Lapwings, when they won against the Solent Kestrels in a few years ago. Yeah,
that final was ridiculous. That was such a great achievement, them, especially because they're a D2 team. But that was a really strong D2 team.
It was, wasn't it? It was stacked as Khalil gets the second. And that game's on the Basketball England YouTube channel. I like to go back and watch that every so often because it's one of my favourite games ever to watch.
It's like that Stockport team was like same energy as like the Sheffield Hatters D2 team.
Yes. As ball is picked off by Chinamasa. So 1 point AIU lead, and Neri gets it at the other end. So back with AIU. Freeman. And look at the defense there from Lahana Khalil, but Freeman comes up with it. Zaffaroni calling for it. Doesn't drop, and Khalil with the rebound.
Yeah, great hands there, just swiping, just able to not foul as well. Literally just the perfect moment. Ball's loose, couldn't come up with it, but I mean, they have it now, so that's still great defense.
And a chance to go ahead for Manchester as Chinamasa doesn't get it to drop. Zaffaroni. Round to Gray. Gray driving to the basket and draws the foul. That'll be against Khalil, and the first team foul for Manchester. So early on in the first quarter, Isha, we saw Manchester picking up some quick fouls early on, but they've done a really good job this second quarter to pick up their first with under 3 minutes left.
Yeah, that's really great disciplined defense. That's have 0 fouls with 8 minutes in, basically. Yeah, really great from them, especially considering what you just said then as well. But ARU, obviously, they're on 4 fouls currently. But, did they not have any fouls in that first quarter? They have 1 in the first quarter, it looks like.
No, you're right. I think they didn't.
Oh, so it's like reverse.
Yeah. Second free throw doesn't fall. Williams with the Williams over to Willis. Chinamasa. Willis, hands off to Andrew. Andrew going inside, too strong off the glass, ball's tipped. Zaffaroni for Anglia Ruskin did a really good job to get out to that shot there for Andrew. You can see that Chloe Andrew wanted to take that three. Well, that's the look that she wants to, but Zaffaroni was able to break through that screen.
Yeah, it's not a shot that you want to let Chloe Andrew let off.
And Freeman can't get it to go. Willis with her 5th rebound today. Williams to Andrew. Out to Khalil. And ball will go out of bounds. It'll be AIU ball. And you can see Anglia Ruskin doing a really good job. They know Chloe Andrew wants that three-point shot, and they are. She needs barely any daylight to get it off, but they're just getting there just in time.
They are. I mean, we saw her hit one before, and that's when they did give that space. But yeah, as you said, every time now, she is faking it. But I mean, I'm sure AIU don't mind falling for that fake because they'd rather fall for the fake than let her have that three-pointer wide open.
Freeman. Out to Gray. Gray with space, and her three will go. And a timeout called as AIU take a 4-point lead. And Vicky Gray now 14 points for Anglia Ruskin.
Yeah, I mean, some great shooting from her so far. It just feels like any time the ball leaves her hands, it feels like it's going in.
Now, there's a reason for that, Isha, because Anglia Ruskin have got 3 players in the top 5 for made threes this season. So Tia Freeman, Ilaria Zaffaroni, and Abby Conley. Abby Conley not with the team today. But those 3 players have more threes than 8 teams this season.
Wow. I mean, you can certainly see why. I mean, Vicky Gray so far say 100% from three-point percentage, and Tia Freeman 66%. And we've seen how well they've shot threes. We know they want that three-point shot, and we know they shoot high-volume threes. But what the Mystics can't let happen is kind of fall into that game. Like, I know when you're in the game, and we are going to see, and we have seen AIU shoot high-volume number of threes. The Mystics can't fall into the trap of, oh, well, they've shot 3. You know, anything you can do, I can do better. They don't need to reply with three-point every single time. And they just can't fall into that trap because we have seen kind of a few kind of periods of play there where they've fallen into that and they've started trying to hit that 3. But the Mystics, I mean, they do have shooters, but that's not the first shot that they look for. Whereas for AIU, I'm sure some of their players, that is the first shot that they're always going to take.
Yeah. And it's a case, isn't it, of not letting AIU dictate the game that you play, just stick to your game plan.
Exactly.
And Manchester are without leading scorer Kizzy Spence today, as Williams, she'll put up a 3, and that's off the rim. But again, as we say, Isha, it's always great to see who steps up into that role when you are missing someone that puts up the points.
Yeah, 100%, because I mean, you need someone else to fill in that gap, right? So who's it going to be?
As Freeman's shot doesn't drop, but Neri chases down the ball. As it will go to Manchester, though. As Williams over to Hernandez. Andrew has it. Andrew goes to the basket. Doesn't get the bounce. And that's Zaffaroni. Again, Zaffaroni is just, she's in the way as well.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's just the best defense that can be played, just being in the way. It's just such a nuisance, and it just stops the offense basically from dictating what they want to do.
Balls into Freeman. Round to Gray. Gray against Hernandez. Zaffaroni with 6 seconds. Zaffaroni puts it up. That's short. Lewis Gale with the rebound. Turns and puts it in. And Cleo Lewis Gale gets herself onto the scoreboard. 8 seconds in the quarter. Andrew from the foul line sinks it. And that'll do it for the end of the first half. A 32-28 lead for Anglia Ruskin over Manchester. And Anglia Ruskin have been led by Vicky Gray with those 14 points, 100% from three-point range. And Tia Freeman also adding 11 points and 4 rebounds. And for the Mystics, 7 points from Chloe Andrew, 2 rebounds and 2 assists. As Ravimbo Chinamasa adds in 5 points, 2 assists. And big board Faith Lord has 8 rebounds.
I like that one, guys. Big puppy. That is a good one, that.
8 rebounds in just under 9 minutes, and 6 of those are offensive. That's massive.
Yeah, it's really huge. And we've just seen the presence that she's had so far today. Her and Letitia Willis, both of them just really inside and just kind of marking their ground. I mean, they're making it their territory every time that ball comes off the rim. Those are the 2 people that are there.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are bringing that ball down.
Letitia Willis with 7 rebounds. Manchester 28 rebounds to Anglia Ruskin's 21, and those 2 have obviously been a massive part of that. So in the second quarter, it was a 15-14 run for Manchester over Anglia Ruskin. But as we've said, that 3-point shooting has just really kind of separated AIU.
Yeah, 100%. And as you said, we know that they're a team that can shoot the 3-pointer really well. And it's practically every time one of their players catches it on the outside, you can see head coach Rob Fairley just putting his hands up, being like, shooter, 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 because you just have to do that with this team. Anytime the ball's in their hands, if you give them just literally just an inch of space, you know they're going to pull it and you know it's probably going to go in. It's just feels like every time the ball leaves their hands outside of that 3-point arc, it's going in. So definitely going to have to, I mean, I would say they have to do a better job, but they have done a good job at closing out the shooters. Sometimes these shots that they're hitting, they're contested and they're still sinking them. So they have done a really good job at getting a hand out. The Mystics just carry on what they're doing, really, because, I mean, once ARU had that lead in the first quarter, it's just about chipping away. You know, they don't need to get the lead straight away. They did a good job in that quarter to win it by 1 point. Next quarter, they can increase it. Quarter after that, increase it again. I mean, 4 points, not bad going into the break. And they ended the quarter on a decent, you know, they got Chloe Andrew hit that free throw jumper, but I guess the possession before, they let an offensive rebound, which we haven't seen them let many through. So overall, pretty good performance from the Mystics. ARU doing just as well.
Yeah. 14 points in the paint for the Mystics and 4 for AIU, but that sort of speaks to how they've been playing their games, doesn't it? The outside shot and that inside look.
Yeah, exactly. And we've just seen the more inside presence that the Mystics have had compared to ARU's.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to take a quick break for halftime, and we'll be back with you in around 10 minutes' time. Welcome back to the Manchester Basketball Centre for the third quarter between the Mystics and Anglia Ruskin. ARU have a 4-point lead as we head into the third quarter, and Gray runs into traffic. Gray can't get it to go, but Neri is there for the rebound. Doesn't finish on the putback. And it's Manchester possession. Andrew. Not that time. Ball will stay with the Mystics. Last touch, Anglia Ruskin. And Isha, just before half-time, we spoke about how good the Anglia Ruskin three-point shooting has been. They've just been lights out from outside.
Yeah, they really haven't. The thing is, it's not for the lack of Mystics defense either that they're making these. Like, some of these shots that they're hitting, they are heavily contested. They're just really, really great three-point shooters.
Gray against Odemwingie. Hands off to Freeman. 5 seconds. Freeman racing to the basket. Hands off to Neri underneath the hoop. And Elizabeth Neri has done such a good job of that today.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great little play there. Tia Freeman, nice strong drive. Nice little just bounce pass there to Neri, who's just literally just hanging around that low post area and just cuts in perfect time.
As Chinamasa can't answer. And Neri gets her first points of the game on that basket, but 7 rebounds so far for her today. She's been third in offensive rebounds this season, grabbed 53 coming into this game. As Zaffaroni over to Freeman. Freeman on the baseline. Oh, and Neri under the basket, can't finish that time as the ball's loose on the floor, and we've got a jump ball called.
I think a foul called.
Oh, a foul, sorry. A foul called.
On Chloe Andrew of the Mystics.
So Mystics pick up their first team foul. And that's the third foul on Andrew.
That's third foul on Chloe Andrew.
Yeah, so that's, with 8:20-ish to play in the third quarter. So we will see Andrew head to the bench. Faith Lord comes into the game. As ARU take it from the sideline, York will inbound. Zaffaroni. Ball's knocked away. Odemwingie trying to chase it down, and will be Manchester possession. Perdomo to Odemwingie, and ball will go out of bounds. Back with Anglia Ruskin. And Manchester playing without Kizzy Spence today, and without Remy Idowu, such a dominant presence inside his Idowu. So sometimes when players have got to step up into those positions, you might have people playing in a position they're not as used to playing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, no Remy Idowu, but that we've definitely seen an inside presence from the Mystics. I mean, Faith Lord doing a great job inside, playing those rebounds. Same thing with Letitia Willis. They both really kind of stepped into that.
8 rebounds each for Willis and Lord, as Gray to the basket. Gets the whistle, and Vicky Gray will go back to the free throw line. And Gray has drawn 5 fouls today from the Mystics. And this Anglia Ruskin team as well, Isha, they're a pretty experienced team. They've got a lot of experience out there on the floor, particularly in Vicky Gray, in Ilaria Zaffaroni, and Tia Freeman. Players that have played at a very high level. Tia Freeman spent 8 seasons playing in the WBBL, and a lot of experience out there on the floor.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we can see that with, as you said, 5 drawn fouls. Sometimes the things like that, just drawing fouls, it does take experience to kind of know what to do, how to go into it. So yeah, great things from them today.
So end line ball, York looks to get it in. Lord's there, comes up with a steal. Chinamasa takes it inside. It's too strong off the glass. Back with AIU, they've got a 6-point lead. Gray. Freeman. Zaffaroni drives inside for the short jumper, and it's up to an 8-point lead here in the third quarter for Anglia Ruskin.
Yeah, the Mystics need to do a good job trying to get something on the board here and try and get a little, I can't speak, try and get some stops, because when it gets that kind of double-digit lead, that's going to kind of get a bit painful, kind of gets a bit more difficult to dig yourself out of that hole. So really need to try and keep it just to a single-digit lead for ARU here.
So we'll see success out, and we head to the bench. Alex Hernandez checks into the game. So it's Manchester ball from the end line. And Perdomo can't get it to go. Gets her own rebound though. Willis is there. Hernandez calling for it. Passes over to Chinamasa in the corner. That's too strong. And it'll be a 24-second shot clock violation. And Manchester coming into this game averaging just over 64 points a game. Anglia Ruskin 70.7. So both teams below their average here in the third quarter as we approach the halfway mark.
Yeah, just a testament to the defense that's being played out there today.
Gray finds Freeman under the basket and blocked by Willis as the ball goes out of bounds. Zaffaroni into Neri. Gray from deep. And that's her first miss from 3 today. Hernandez, what a save from Alex Hernandez.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to get that and give it to her own teammate, great little play there.
As Willis spinning inside, doesn't get the roll, gets her own rebound though. Ball stays with Manchester. Yeah, because the amount of times you see someone try and save it, and they do manage to save it, but it can be to a teammate or it doesn't quite go where they're wanting it to. But Hernandez.
Yeah, I mean, there was plenty of ARU players there to pick it out as well, just able to get it over them. Hopefully they can get a score off this following that little highlight play.
Chinamasa to Perdomo. Back to Chinamasa. Hernandez. Lord's there, fading away, doesn't drop. Neri with her 9th board of the game. York kicks it out to Zaffaroni. And that'll be a foul under the basket, so 3rd team foul against Manchester. And that'll be 2 free throws to come for Anglia Ruskin and Ilaria Zaffaroni. 36-28, Anglia Ruskin lead over the Mystics.
Yeah, now Anglia Ruskin, they've got that opportunity to kind of push it to that double-digit lead to 10 points. Mystics really need to try and see if they can get a score here.
Zaffaroni gets the second. Zaffaroni in her 5th season for Anglia Ruskin. Gives AIU their biggest lead of the game so far. Chinamasa. Perdomo calling for it. 3's off the back rim.
One thing ARU have done well this third quarter is stopping the Mystics from getting so many offensive rebounds. They're putting bodies on players, just kind of denying them that second chance opportunity.
Yeah, they've adjusted to that really well. Zaffaroni from 3. Doesn't fall, but it's into the hands of Gray, so another chance for Anglia Ruskin as York lines it up. Doesn't drop. Chinamasa leads the charge for Manchester. Hernandez back to Chinamasa. Chinamasa passing inside, it's broken up, but Willis has it with 2 seconds. Can't get it to fall. And the defense from AIU has really stepped up as Freeman races all the way to the basket. And it's a double-digit lead. Anglia Ruskin up 11 in the third quarter.
Yeah, the Mystics really try and get something on the board here now. or it's just going to be just make it a little much harder in that fourth quarter.
It's been a 7-0 run for ARU this quarter as Chinamasa shot doesn't drop, but Perdomo's there for the rebound. Lord calling for it from outside, doesn't go. And ARU back down the floor. Freeman playing with pace, and an unsportsmanlike foul will be called. So 2 shots to come and possession for Anglia Ruskin, as we'll have a timeout called by Manchester Mystics head coach Rob Fairley.
Yeah, I mean, he just had his 7-0 run for ARU this quarter. Not the start that the Mystics would have wanted coming out of half-time, especially considering they were able to win that second quarter by 1 point. Ideally, they would have, kind of just kept it within either kind of even or just won it by a few more maybe, but
kept
this
it
quarter,
close.
Yeah, closer, sorry. But I mean, this quarter so far, we're 7 minutes in and they're not able to put anything on the board.
And you can see, you mentioned the rebounding earlier, so at halftime it was 28 rebounds to Manchester, 21 to Anglia Ruskin, but now we've Manchester with 35 here in the third quarter and Anglia Ruskin with 34, so Anglia Ruskin have really stepped that up. So 13 rebounds in not a lot of time. Yeah,
I mean, they've stepped up on both ends of the floor. Now we've seen them get a few more offensive rebounds, but they weren't really getting that many in that first half. Defensively, they've really stepped up their rebounding, because we saw so many times. I mean, Willis inside, Lord inside. They were on the offensive boards. They were grabbing them because ARU just weren't putting a body on a player, and they've come out in this third quarter. And credit to them, they've really adapted to that, and they've been able to, find their players, put a body on a woman, not a man, body on a woman, and kind of just stop them from getting that rebound. So credit to them for clamping down on that. And I mean, the Mystics, they had so many second chance opportunities because of them rebounds, which they haven't had in this quarter, so that definitely is contributing to.
Yeah, that makes it makes a difference, doesn't it? And Elizabeth Neri with 11 rebounds for Anglia Ruskin, as Freeman doesn't get the first free throw. Freeman spent 3 seasons playing for the Essex Rebels in the WBBL, also played with the Oaklands Wolves and Nottingham Wildcats. One of the players that hit 1,000 WBBL points in her time there. And has had 6 20-plus point games this season for ARU. So she is a flat-out scorer.
Yeah, she really is. And we can see it every time she takes it to the basket.
York behind the 3-point line, doesn't drop. There's a good box out underneath the basket for Manchester as they look to try and capitalise. Odemwingie. Odemwingie to Furtado. Nat Furtado into the game for the first time for Manchester. 4 seconds on the clock. Lord puts it up and puts it in, and Faith Lord doing it on both ends of the court today.
Yeah, I mean, they gave her so much space for that, and she's just going, no, don't give me the space, because this is what I'm going to do.
3 points and 8 rebounds for Lord today. Freeman looks to answer and does.
Yeah, what a way to answer back from that. I mean, ARU, they just continued to shoot the ball really well in this game.
They have been absolutely unstoppable from behind the 3-point line as Andrew passes to Lord, out to Odemwingie. Doesn't get it to go. ARU shooting 8 of 18 from 3-point range today. As Gray against Lord. And Odemwingie read the pass. Comes up with the ball, fighting for it on the floor, but it's taken away by Freeman. Gray, and shot doesn't go. An 11-point lead for Anglia Ruskin here in the third quarter. Andrew to the basket, that's too strong. Neri grabs a 12th rebound and a foul called. As we'll see, Amelia Hassoun come into the game, and Zaffaroni goes to the bench.
This is a really strange observation, but on Hassoun's top, the 7, I've never seen a basketball kit with the 7 like that.
Oh, with the line in the 7. Now you've said that, I'm going to look out for it. And we'll see Rahana Khalil in for the Mystics. So the Manchester in the bonus, so that foul sends Elizabeth Neri to the free throw line. She's in her second season for Anglia Ruskin, averaged 6.8 rebounds a game last season. She's been pulling down 7.8 this year. I mean, what a way to step up your rebounding game.
Yeah, literally. I mean, we've seen it today. She's certainly stepped up.
She's been averaging 11 rebounds over the last 4 games coming into today, as ball will be with Manchester. So 12-point lead for Anglia Ruskin, their biggest lead of the game so far here in the third quarter. They've been on a run in this third, 11-3.
Yeah, I mean, Mystics only picking up that one bucket from Faith Lloyd hitting that three-pointer there. Hopefully, they'd want to try and get at least a couple more points on the board before the end of this third quarter.
As Andrew, shot doesn't go. I think York got a hand on that as the ball's loose on the floor, and a jump ball is called.
Because we say every game about FIBA needing a jump ball column, because how many jump balls have we seen in this game?
I feel like we've had a lot, and Faith Lord, I think she feels like she's been involved in a lot of them.
Yeah, just great hustle play from like all around on both sides, to be honest. Every time there's a loose ball, there's always 2 people diving on it.
Andrew into Khalil. Over to Lord. Lord floats it up. Not that time, but Odinwee's there for the rebound. Andrew calling for it from outside. Bounces off the rim, but chased down by Furtado, and Manchester will get another chance. Odinwingie in the corner. And ball's bouncing about. It'll be a step out of bounds. So Manchester have another chance here, but again, it's Faith Lord just putting that pressure on.
She really is. She's just doing all the little things, like, she's just doing all the little things right at the moment. Like, just those small plays where it's like, doesn't make a difference. Yes, it does. Just putting in that extra bit of effort that you need. You know, if there's a loose ball, she's diving on it. If there's a, I don't know, she's near a passing, she's sticking her hand in it. Just really great from her.
Yeah, she's been really impactful for Manchester. As we see Cleo Lewis-Gale back into the game, Elizabeth Neri heads to the bench with her 12 rebounds. The Manchester ball, Andrew to Furtado. Odinwingie with 6 seconds, and Furtado inside. And AIU have done a really good job disrupting that inside path for Manchester.
Yeah, definitely clamped down on that in this third quarter here.
Final minute of the third quarter. Andrew to Furtado. Lord driving to the basket. It's short, but Khalil and Lewis-Gale fighting for the ball. It's a jump ball possession, and that will go the way of Anglia Ruskin.
Yeah, and that just kind of feels the story this quarter at the moment. You know, the Mystics had all that hard work. They got to the basket, couldn't finish. They did all the effort to get the jump ball, and then ARU's way. So
Gray needs to get the ball over the halfway line, and that'll be an 8-second violation. So Manchester will have it back. .26 seconds in the third. 12-point lead for AIU. Odinwingie into Lord. Andrew. Odinwingie driving baseline. Finds Furtado. Furtado draws the foul. And that Furtado will go to the free throw line.
I think towards the end of this quarter, especially the past couple of minutes, the Mystics, their offense looks much better. I mean, they're moving the ball around a lot. They're finding the open looks. I mean, literally, I think it was about 2 possessions ago, we saw a really good play where literally they zipped it around three-point line, success on a wingy wide open three-pointer, but they haven't been able to get them to fall. And that's just been not just picking on success on a wingy, obviously, but it's just been the story of the quarter for the Mystics. They've just really been unable to take the lid off.
It has, as Furtado gets the second. 11-point game, 15 seconds in the quarter. Freeman goes all the way, doesn't get it to go. Furtado to Andrew. Andrew with 2 seconds. Andrew will launch from the halfway line. doesn't go, and at the end of the third quarter, it's a 43-32 lead for Anglia Ruskin over Manchester, and a huge third quarter there for Anglia Ruskin, an 11-3 run for them. And they've been led by 16 points from Tia Freeman. She's got 6 rebounds along with 5 assists as well. Elizabeth Nerry, 3 points for Anglia Ruskin, a massive 12 rebounds. And Vicky Gray with 14 points and 4 rebounds. And for Manchester, no one hitting double figures yet. Chloe Andrew on 9 points. And then Ravimbo Chinamasa on 5 points, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. So who do you kind of want to see step up into that scoring role in the fourth quarter if Manchester are going to go on a run?
I mean, to be fair to all the players out there, it's anyone's game at the moment. I mean, anyone can really step into that. We've seen some really good drives from a lot of people. I mean, Chloe Andrews, she's had some pretty strong drives, you know. Obviously, ARU, they're putting on a lot of pressure, so it isn't easy to finish in that paint at the moment. I mean, Chinamasa's had a few. Faith Lord, we spoke about her a lot, getting in that inside, but it's just the pressure that ARU are putting on. They've really stepped up this quarter. That's why we saw some great offenses from the Mystics in that third quarter, but ARU's pressure, they've really, really just stepped it up. The Mystics just unable to take the lid off. I mean, 4 points, they only made 1 shot, and it was from the outside. That Faith Lord three-pointer, and then we had an Apostado free throw. So
yeah,
we spoke about the points in the paint at half time or going into the half, and they've had 0 points in the paint in this second half. So again, credit to ARU, just the things that the Mystics have been doing well in that first half, they've just been able to counteract it by doing the small things well, you know, just stepping up that extra couple of centimeters on the inside, putting a body on a player when the ball goes up, and it's just kind of led the Mystics to be a bit stumped, really. They don't really know what to do out there. They're struggling to score, and it gets like that. It is frustrating if you can't score, especially when you're getting the looks.
Yeah.
Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
It's just the nature of it, isn't it, sometimes? So fourth quarter underway, and Odin Wingy gets things started. And that's exactly what Manchester are going to want to see, isn't it, coming out of that quarter break?
Exactly. I was just going to say, what a start to the quarter. That is just already so much more positive that previous quarter because they've got points on the inside of the paint.
Freeman out to York in the corner. That's too strong. That was a really good read there from Letitia Willis. Knew she wasn't going to be able to get the rebound, but taps it over. And Manchester come up with it as Perdomo to Williams under the basket. Last touch, Manchester. And we're heading towards the business end of the season now. Playoff seeding looming as Odin Wingy read the pass and takes it all the way to the basket, and back-to-back buckets for Odin Wingy in Manchester as she cuts it down to a 7-point game.
Yeah, what a start from her. I mean, success on Wengi doing success on Wengi things. We know she's rapid. She loves just that little tap away. Once she's gone, she's gone.
One of the fastest players you are going to see out there as Freeman answers for AIU. Takes herself up to 18 points personal. Perdomo. Willis. Out to Williams. 7 seconds, Williams, and ball's knocked away. Good read from Lewis Gale. As York over to Gray. Gray takes her time and puts the ball in the basket. And Vicky Gray up to 16. Leads back up to 11. Furtado to Williams. Williams. Perdomo. 4 seconds on the clock. Perdomo runs into traffic, but puts it up. A little hook shot there from Georgia Perdomo.
Yeah, the Mystics looking much better to start off this fourth quarter. Just being so much more aggressive on the inside.
And a foul called, as it is a 47-38 lead for Anglia Ruskin. And a substitution as Ilaria Zaffaroni checks in. And Katie York heads to the bench. And for Manchester, Annie Williams subs out.
Chinamasa. Chinamasa checks in.
She was hiding in front of the table.
She was just testing your cards.
Lewis Gale to Zaffaroni. Zaffaroni has Chinamasa on her. Gray, 5 seconds on the clock. 2 seconds, and blocked by Willis with time running down. As Odemwingie, that was a tough catch from Odemwingie, and he can't keep it inside for Manchester. But Odemwingie she's always on that break running down the floor.
Yeah, she is, and it's like, we said it before, she's just one of them players, you said it, she's one of the fastest players you're going to see. As soon as she gets going, as soon as her legs start moving, she's practically gone. And I mean, we rarely see players that can keep up with her.
Freeman kicks it out, Zaffaroni. Zaffaroni, 3. Doesn't fall. Willis with a big rebound. Perdomo stops, pulls up, splashes it in from outside. And a much needed shot there for Manchester as Georgia Perdomo cuts the lead down to 6 here in the 4th quarter. And it's been a 9-4 run for Manchester. So that's what they needed, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, that 3 there as well, kind of just the ice on the cake. As soon as we came out, so we saw success at Odemwingie, back-to-back buckets. We saw, who else scored actually? It slipped my mind. Anyway, we saw another bucket. It was on the inside. It was a good take. I think it was it Lord?
So it was 4 points from Odemwingie, Georgia Perdomo with a layup, and then Georgia Perdomo with more points.
Oh yeah,
so Success and Georgia Perdomo have been putting up the points for Manchester, and they're 2 players that play for MMU. So they play extra basketball with each other during the week.
Yeah, they do, and sometimes having that extra game time with people, you just then get used to each other's tendencies. Where are they going to be? Where do they like to catch the ball? Just simple things like that. But that 3 there from Georgia Perdomo. Obviously, you had the 6 points before, but the 3-pointer, I mean, it's a nice shot to have in. It's a nice little momentum boost, a much needed momentum boost from Mystics. And actually, was that 3 or 2? Because the score's now 40-47.
Oh, I think they've changed it to a long 2.
Oh, but nevertheless, 7 points, and it just looks that little bit more achievable now. It's both in the 40s. I know that's a weird thing to say, but sometimes it is just like that.
It's a psychological thing, isn't it, for teams? As Gray driving inside, shot bounces off, and Odemwingie skies in for the rebound and draws the foul. And do you know who that is on the floor? That is National Cup Finals winning MVP Success Odemwingie. I don't think we've mentioned that yet.
I don't think we have, but I mean, yeah, she just, when you see her do things like that, she just shows why she has that MVP. She just does all them little things. She plays above her height as well, really.
She really does, and her defense is absolutely exceptional. You'd be hard-pressed to find a stronger defender out on the floor. As Chinamasa out to Odemwingie, Perdomo. And a big block from Neri as ball goes out of bounds, and again that's Odemwingie. So Neri's off and running, and Odemwingie just getting in there, pressuring the ball to make her have to pass out.
Yeah, and literally just as you say it, she does it. She said you're not going to find a better defender than her, and it's true. She just always puts on the pressure. She gets beat, she's there straight away. So
Perdomo. Furtado calling for it. Furtado going baseline, puts it up, gets the whistle, and 2 free throws to come.
Yeah, I mean, this first 5 minutes of the quarter, I know Mystics are still down, but it certainly feels like the momentum's kind of swung in their favour now. Just some really good plays from them. The offense is looking much better. They're able to finish now as well, and just having that momentum in it and getting into that rhythm again. I mean, that third quarter, gotten out that slump. It's out of the way now. Now they're finding the bottom of the net.
They certainly feel like they've got a bit more energy as well out there on the court. As Furtado goes 2 of 2 from the line, cuts it down to a 5-point game. So Furtado will go to the bench, and Lord checks in for Manchester. So just under 6 minutes to play. Gray. Over to Freeman. Freeman takes it to the basket, runs into Willis. Willis will be called for the foul, and 2 free throws for ARU. So that'll be the second team foul on Manchester. ARU also on 2 team fouls, and with 5.5 minutes to play, that's not too bad, is it, for either team?
No, that's all right, isn't it? Really halfway through the quarter, but fouls, we say all the time, especially in a close game, something that could come into play, especially when it gets down to them last few minutes of the quarter.
So Freeman doesn't get the first to fall. Freeman representing GB in 3x3 in the Europe Cup qualifiers last summer. Hits the second. 6-point game. It's been a 10-5 run for Manchester this quarter as Lord looks to hand off. Odemwingi's there. Perdomo. Perdomo spinning out to Success. Odemwingi on the baseline, 3 seconds. Manchester are going to have to put something up here. And with 1 second to go, that'll be a 24-second shot clock violation as ARU making a stand.
Yeah, they're really putting that pressure on now. Wait, when did someone score? 42-48? Is that?
There was a free throw.
Oh, yeah. I was really confused.
We've both had long weekends. But it's only Saturday. Gray. Round to Freeman. And whistle on the floor. So that goes against Manchester as they pick up their 3rd foul. And that's foul number 3 on Success Odemwingi as ARU will take it from the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, 3 fouls. There is 4 minutes to go in the quarter. If she gets, I mean, it will hurt the Mystics if she gets fouled out, but 4 minutes, manageable enough.
And Freeman fouled on the 3-point shot, so 3 shots to come at the line.
All I can say is commentator's curse.
And that'll be the 4th. And was that on Odemwingi? That was just, oh, I see. That was like, yeah. So.
Yeah. Unlucky to get out on that one, but.
As Freeman hits the first. So extends the lead up to 7. Doesn't get the second to drop. Freeman had a 32.7 assist game against Brent in October. Third one spins in. So it's up to an 8-point lead for ARU. And Freeman read the pass, takes it all the way to the basket.
Yeah, and just like that, ARU back up to that double-digit lead.
And Freeman up to 23 points. Chinamasa out to Perdomo. And gets it to drop. A long 2 for Perdomo. As ARU need to get it over the halfway line. Zaffaroni has it to Gray. Gray. Hassoun into Neri. Gray with a long 2 off the rim. It's tipped by Neri. And another chance on offense for ARU.
I think it'll be shots this time. Yeah, we've got 2 shots this time. Unfortunate for the Mystics to get onto team fouls now coming into the final few minutes of the game. But, up until that point, I was just going to say that was a really good defensive rotation for the Mystics there. There's quite a few switches, but it's good that the communication wasn't lost.
Yeah, definitely, as Neri doesn't get the first to go. And second, can't get the bounce. Balls with Manchester and Chinamasa. Perdomo. Andrew over to Lord. Chinamasa. Runs into traffic, Lord calling for it. And a jump ball called. As we'll have a substitution, Alex Hernandez into the game and Lord goes to the bench. Possession is with Anglia Ruskin. Ball's into Freeman. Freeman leading all scorers with 23 points. Out to Hassoun. Neri. Gray. Gray to the basket. That's short. Perdomo with the rebound, and Hernandez will wait for the team to catch up. Andrew calling for it. Gray straight to her, and Andrew can't get it to fall. And great hustle there from ARU on defense. Just really pressuring the ball and making it incredibly difficult for Manchester to get the shot.
Yeah, I think following that half-time break, ARU's defense really just stepped up a notch. We saw in that third quarter, and they've just stepped it up even more again in this fourth.
As Freeman gets the whistle and will go back to the foul line. Tia Freeman shooting 54% from the foul line today, 6 of 11. She's drawn, that's her 9th foul that she's drawn. So her and Vicky Gray have really been able to do a good job of that.
Yeah, they have, and I mean, when we spoke earlier, we've spoken about it all game. Apologies. We've spoken about it all game, how she's just able to, I mean, just such an offensive player, great offensive player. Every time she drives strong. You know, she doesn't shy away. Just distracted by some clapping going on in the Manchester Basketball Centre at the moment, but.
Freeman goes 2 of 2 from the line. She's up to 25 points, and that is her 7th game this season with 20 or more points. As she puts the lead back up to 10. Andrew takes it to the basket and gets the bounce as well as the foul. Chloe Andrew. Where have we seen her do this before, Isha?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the game's not over till it's over. The Mystics, rightly so, they haven't just given up, because 10 points, there's still 2 minutes, 30 seconds. That's a really long time in basketball. What a way to kind of bring the energy up on the team as well. Hopefully we can see that carry through into the game now.
It certainly is. So a 3-point play from Chloe Andrew cuts it down to a 7-point game. And if you're Manchester here, you're trying to get a stop.
Without the foul.
So 2 more free throws to come. So Manchester in the bonus now for the rest of the quarter, and ARU can certainly look to try and take advantage of that as Ilaria Zaffaroni goes to the foul line. Zaffaroni, 30 points and 8 rebounds against Ipswich earlier this season.
Yeah, I mean, not the greatest position to be for the Mystics to be on team fouls now, because ARU can kind of capitalise on this.
Second one doesn't get the roll. Andrew with the rebound. And Andrew blocked by Zaffaroni. Stays Manchester possession. And Anglia Ruskin, they've had 25 free throws today, shooting 12 of 25 just before those 2 shots from Zaffaroni. So shooting 13 of 26. As Perdomo banks in 2. And it's down to a 6-point game. Just over 2 minutes to play. Zaffaroni. Gray. Out to Freeman, thought about it, steps back for 3 and drains it. That's a huge shot from Freeman. And for Manchester, they're able to pull it back. And then Tia Freeman just does what she does best, scores.
Yeah, I mean, it has been, dare I say, a bit painful at times for the Mystics today, because they, as you just said, they've done all the hard work. They brought back within 6 points. And then Tia Freeman just hits that absolute dagger.
That's a massive bucket for her, and that takes her to 28 points today. And Freeman's played practically, she's not had a break yet. She's played the entire game so far for Anglia Ruskin. That's a testament to her stamina to play nearly a full 40 minutes.
To that standard as well.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're Manchester here, still just under 2 minutes to play. Obviously, that puts the lead back up to 9 for Anglia Ruskin. But you still have time to chip into it.
Yeah, they do. They do, but what they're going to have to do is go back to how we saw them playing that second quarter, play defense, but be disciplined, because we've seen the past couple of possessions, offensive possessions, literally as you were saying, they need to get a stop here without fouling, because every time they foul, I mean, yeah, if the I actually really can't speak today, guys. If they do foul, ARU, as you said, they've only been shooting 50% from the free throw. So in some ways it's good. Obviously it's bad because you don't want them to get points on the ball, but at least it stops the clock. Ideally, in an ideal world, they'll play proper defense. You know, they'll get the steals without getting that foul. But they're just going to have to find the bottom of the net here. They can't afford to not get a score off this possession.
So Mystics to inbound into Hernandez. Andrew threes up and in! And straight out of the timeout, Chloe Andrew does what she does best.
Yeah, who other than Chloe Andrew there? Just keeping the Mystics' hopes alive.
And foul on the other end. Goes against Manchester, so back to the free throw line they will go.
Yeah, and I mean, probably a controversial take, but I actually don't think it's the worst thing in the world right now for the Mystics to be giving up these fouls, because, as I said, the Anglia Ruskin, they're giving up, 50% of the line. Would you rather them have a wide open 3-point shot and sink that, or 1 point and then at least you have time on the clock? That's just my hot take, though.
And you are stopping the clock, aren't you? Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, head coach Rob, he only has 1 timeout left, so he could call timeout, advance it, but I'm sure he'll probably keep that just towards the later end of the game. Did she just hit both of those?
Yeah, she hit both,
wow.
And that takes Tia Freeman to 30 points today.
That's a bit of commentator's curse or blessing. I mean, you decide.
Depending on your fandom,
yeah.
Which team you're supporting. As Andrew runs into traffic, Gray picks up the ball. Over to Freeman, and Freeman, 32 points for Tia Freeman. And a timeout called as she ties her season high. And that is a massive run from Freeman, and it is about that 6-point mark that Manchester just haven't been able to break in the game. They've been able to come close, and then Anglia Ruskin just pull away again. Yeah,
we've just seen it so many times throughout the game. So in the second, the third, the Mystics have done a good job to bring it back from that third quarter, to be fair. But yeah, this quarter, they've just done such a good job at digging themselves out of that hole, bringing it within close. But every time they think they're close, just an ARU play comes out. Most of the time, Tia Freeman just comes out of nowhere and just gives them back that little double-digit cushion.
And Freeman, 32 points. She's hit 4 threes, 10 of 15 from the foul line, along with 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. She's just done a bit of everything.
She really has, and that's just what you'd want as a coach, isn't it? Just a player that can just do everything, just be all-round player.
And Vicky Gray adding in 16 points and 4 rebounds. Elizabeth Neri with those 13 big rebounds and 3 points for Neri. And for Manchester, leading the way, it is Chloe Andrew, 15 points personal. Georgia Perdomo adding in 12 along with 5 rebounds. So teams coming back out onto the floor. It's a 10-point ARU lead.
Yeah, and I mean, you'd assume that head coach Rob Fairley is just drawing someone up here. ARU will be wary of that. Probably going to be looking for a 3-point shot. I would have thought it would be either Chloe Andrew or Georgia Perdomo, but we'll see what they have to offer.
Andrew in the corner, and a travel will be called. And she didn't, it looked like she did, obviously the play drawn up there for Andrew, it looks like she didn't quite catch it at the angle she wanted. It was a little bit lower, and that kind of forced her into a position, and with Zaffaroni bearing down on her, it's ARU possession, and they can use the clock here. They've got time on their side. There's Zaffaroni round the screen from Neri. Gray kicks it out to the corner. Her soon shot spins out. But another chance on offense for ARU. Gray to Neri. 5 seconds. Zaffaroni, 2 seconds, puts it up. And Neri with another offensive board And Anglia Ruskin are going to move themselves to 12 wins and 6 losses in Division 1 as a foul called underneath the basket. But an offensive foul call, so Manchester will have possession here, around 30 seconds left. But ARU with a 10-point lead here.
Yeah, I mean, that just whole possession there really just killed the Mystics and just ended the game, because that was, 3 offensive rebounds. Every time they've reset the clock, they've used the whole 14 seconds, they've used the whole 24, just not giving themselves a chance to bring it back at all, really.
As Andrew's shot's long, Gray with the ball for ARU. And Gray will go to the free throw line. Just put the icing on the cake for ARU. So a 10-point lead here. They will move to 12 wins and 6 losses in the standings, coming into today's game in 4th place. As Vicky Gray with 16 points, 5 rebounds today, makes the first. Gray played in the Cayman Islands a few years ago. Had a 41-point, 10-rebound game in the 2024 season as she gets the second. And with 10 seconds to go, Perdomo launches from deep, not that time. And Gray picks up the rebound, and with 3 seconds to go, Anglia Ruskin come out on top against the Manchester Mystics, picking up their 12th win of the season so far, behind a huge game from Tia Freeman. 32 points, along with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Vicky Gray, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 4 steals for Gray. And then Elizabeth Neri really making an impact on the boards with those 14 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, Neri certainly came out in that second half, especially. We saw in that second quarter, Lord and Willis having such an impact on the inside, but she decided, no, I don't want them to have that impact anymore, and she just kind of took that on herself. She was getting them defensive boards, she was getting them offensive boards. But yeah, ARU just really, really able to kind of, anything that the Mystics were doing well in that first half, in that second quarter especially, that half-time talk, they're just able to kind of stamp it down and just stop them from what they're doing well. Mystics kind of got a bit stuck, didn't know how to answer, and yeah, it was that third quarter that killed them, really. Yeah,
that 11-4 run for ARU in the third quarter. And Manchester, they were led by Chloe Andrew, 15 points for her, along with 4 rebounds and 3 assists. Georgia Perdomo with 12 points and 5 rebounds. Letitia Willis adding in 9 rebounds for Manchester, but and 3 blocks for Letitia Willis as well. But then off the bench, big board, Faith Lord. 3 points, 9 rebounds, 7 of them offensive. That's huge.
Yeah, it is huge. Just any literally, it was that second quarter, any time, well, not only second quarter, but she had a lot of them in there. Any time the ball was coming off that rim, it was just coming to her hands. She was fighting for it every single time. She was just putting in so much hard work, and we saw even how many jump balls she forced, how many tips she had, really just doing all them extra bits, putting in that extra effort today.
So Manchester will go again tomorrow against Brent. They are away to Brent. And then on the 28th, they'll be playing the London All-Stars away, and then home for the final game of the season against the Worcester Wolves on the 7th of March. Anglia Ruskin will face Loughborough Riders away on March the 1st, and then we'll have their final game of the season at home on March the 7th against Kohler. So it's really coming down to the wire, isn't it, Isha?
It is, and it could just go any way at this point. This D1 season, I mean, in previous years, we've seen, we know by this point who's going to be the top, so who's going to be second spot. Now, it could literally be anyone's games. Anyone can beat anyone. It is a really competitive league, so these are the games that are really going to change and make the difference now at the top of the table. On the bottom of the table, just the whole table.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of parity in the league, isn't there? Really, anyone can beat anyone on any given day. That's what makes it so exciting.
100%.
In Division 1. So the final score from here in Manchester, Anglia Ruskin 64, the Mystics 52. From myself, Kaz Bullock, and from Isha Nair, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.